Hello, Allen here in Kasese District, Western Uganda, with CODEA, with Mr.
Muhindo, Jonan, the director.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Jonan.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Jonan, we would like to know what is CODEA all about, when was it started, and why was it started, as in your mission of starting this organization.
Okay, CODEA in full is a conservation and demand agency. We are a local NGO in Uganda and operated as a company limited by guarantee. The organization started in October 2010, and our mission is empowering communities to achieve sustainable development. So we do our work basically in 3 thematic areas. We look at nature conservation, socio-economic empowerment and livelihoods, and then community health.
Okay, that's really impressive. So we would like to know, there are other NGOs around here who are doing the same thing that you are doing?
I can't say no and yes. There are organizations that offer complementary services. So we collaborate with them in order to have a complete set of interventions that will change society.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't say we are alone in the play. We have partners within.
Yes.
Yes.
And another thing I would like to find out, while doing your charity work, do you solicit for funds? Let's say you might have friends out there, even other people around you. Be like, today we are going to visit a prison, as in the prisons, or today we are going to visit orphans. Do you tell people to come with clothes or whatever, a bag of rice, a bag of sugar, you know? Do you do that or?
Our resource mobilization approach has basically been around responding to calls for proposals. Sometimes we have raised and solicited proposals, trying to engage international partners and local partners, but we have been most successful where we respond to calls for proposals.
Okay.
Yeah, we have been able to secure funding from different partners, and we have successfully implemented interventions over the last 8 years, since 2013. Yes, we have been in business around the Rwenzori region.
Okay.
Yeah, just to mention maybe quickly, we have had interventions with the International Labour Organization. We have had a range of projects implemented with the Worldwide Fund for Nature, WWF, and also Enable, the Belgian Development Agency, which is based here in Uganda. It is of course international, but we deal with the Ugandan office.
Yeah. So another thing we would like to find out, as in how do you do the accountabilities for the funds that you get from donors?
Okay.
Because it is always very difficult when those funds come in. Others would like to do with some other things, their own stuff. So I would like to hear from you, Mr. Jonan. How do you account for those funds?
Okay. First of all, we use what we call HRBA, the Human Rights-Based Approach.
Yeah.
So, you know, the pillars of HRBA are several. And for us to ensure that there is a clear accountability, we involve a range of stakeholders. We take the multi-stakeholder approach, such that we design projects with the community, we involve them in the implementation, we involve them in the monitoring, and so together we are able to agree that yes, we achieved what we wanted. We have achieved real value for money. And away from that, of course, we have internal control systems that enable us account to donors. We also carry out independent audits. Annually, we have external auditors to look through our systems and give an independent view of whether we are doing the right thing. And this is a routine. We do it annually. We of course file returns to the National NGO Bureau We file returns to the Revenue Authority. We are also registered with the Finance Intelligence Authority. This is an agency established by the laws of Uganda to monitor financial resources that come into the country. So we are registered with the Finance Intelligence Authority, and by just giving that background, I'm telling you that yes, we account properly.
Okay. I'm really impressed by your response to that question. And another thing I would like to find out, when you're recruiting your staff, as in how do you do it? Do you put them to test? As in, how do you get them? Do you advertise for people to apply, or you say, I will choose this one because I know the person, I will choose the other one because I know her or him?
Two major approaches. One, depending on the expertise required, depending on the person specifications, we may choose to use a source activation. People who have done internship with us, people who have been volunteers with us in the past. So, yes, we can go back to those and invite a few for some selection interview, depending on the person specifications. But the other approach we use is, of course, external adverts. Yeah, external adverts where we will call for applications, and people will be assessed against a set criteria. Basically, we look at the technical, but also the social and personal aspects, so that we are able to come up with the best candidate. And of course, this is done purely on merit. At that level, we are not looking at relationships. We are looking at competent individuals that are committed and able to support us achieve our vision.
Wow, that's good to hear. Then, Mr. Jonan, would like to hear from you. When you're doing your charity work, so helping people, do you, based on someone's education or gender, their source of income, or you just help someone because they are in need?
We have, like I said, we empower communities to achieve sustainable development. From the start, our focus has been on empowering women and young people. And remember, these constitute the biggest percentage of society. But we are also aware that we cannot achieve sustainable results if we leave men aside. So whereas we take that holistic approach, but we want to track major indicators across the young people and the women. And like I gave you the three thematic areas, when we talk about nature conservation, we cannot tag results specifically to only women, because the disasters we are facing as a community affect everybody if they do with nature, because climate change has manifested itself in many ways, and these affect everybody, although women and young people are most at risk given their vulnerability. So every project that comes on board has a specific target group. So we will only select people who meet the selection criteria for such a specific project. So I will not say, yes, we consider age everywhere. No, it depends on the project design. Every project is given a unique approach so that, yes, we are able to achieve measurable results.
Okay. Then, of course, we would like now to know, have you met some challenges while doing this? So right now, you are going to tell us about the challenges you have faced while doing this.
Okay. Majorly two challenges. The first one is, of course, to do with technical infrastructure. We have staff of around 10 full-time employees operating on only 3 computers. You can understand that challenge.
Yeah, I understand that.
We are implementing projects across the western region of the country, but we rely on hired vehicles. You understand?
Yeah.
So we don't have the transport infrastructure within. We have limited ICT equipment within. But now, above all, we have encountered the challenge of limited funding. Every time we come up with a project idea, because it is generated with the community, there is always much higher demand than the resources available for the interventions. So when we are selecting actual beneficiaries, a wide range of community members who are actually qualifying remain unattended to because the resources are very, very minimal. So at this point, our greatest desire is to get partners who can help us get bigger funding so that we can achieve bigger results. No, we upscale the approaches we have tested already. We upscale, in terms of area, because the issues we are addressing are priority issues of the community. People have the need. People are willing to support. In fact, local governments across this region are very supportive. We have worked with local governments and we have received every possible support at local level. The biggest limitation is the funding, because the policies in the country, the laws in the country are very supportive. So there is already an enabling environment. What we need is the funding for us to be able to actually deliver at scale and achieve more significant impact.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, before we end our chat, I would like to find out if there is something that I've left out, something that I've not asked you, but you would like to tell the world, I'm giving you a chance.
Very good. I want to tell the world community that the Rwenzori region which we serve is faced by so many challenges that affect the productivity, the health, and the environment where we operate. So, by working together, we can really achieve positive change. Remember, this is a key ecosystem area, but it has been affected by climate change, and subsequently, the livelihoods and health of people is greatly affected. So together, we can restore the degraded ecosystems so that we improve the livelihoods of people and ensure that we maintain a healthy living. Because when the health of people is compromised, their productivity is directly affected.
Yeah.
And poor people will directly rely on only natural resources and therefore put a lot of pressure. And subsequently, of course, we deplete the natural resources. So we need to work together to ensure that we handle all these three concurrently to ensure that our generation today will benefit, tomorrow's generation benefits, and even the generation thereafter. I thank you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Jonan. Yeah, right here you have had my chat with Mr. Jonan. I think those who are watching make a difference. Be like Mr. Jonan. Be kind-hearted. You can still help